Hi, welcome, friends. I want to talk to you today about desire and longing. Now, these are two things that have been on my mind probably forever. And I want to kind of just see if we can sort out a little bit what the difference is. First of all, let's just say that I'm Prajna O'Hara, and this is my channel. And if you like it, please subscribe, comment. I wasn't on last week, but when I'm here, I always love to read your comments and then see if I can, bring some topic out of that. It's always good to know that I'm kind of like landing somewhere with some of you, and I love hearing your comments. So thank you for that. So, what is desire and what is longing? Probably all of us live with longings most of our lives. That longing, I think of longing as something more like a deep ache, an ache for something. And it can often be something that we want really badly, almost like it feels like it's a missed experience. And there's such a deep wanting in it. And it's connected to love because there's behind it, there's a sense perhaps that if it were to happen, if this longing were to be met, that some deep sense of satisfaction would take place. And often, when a longing is present and a missed experience is along with it, there could be grief as well for something that has passed, a relationship, a animal, a friend, a parent, for all different kinds of reasons. And when there can be a longing to want to return to that, to go back to something that was familiar at one time and to rebirth it and try to, invigorate it and make it last once again. Yeah, there's a lot of fodder there for story within longing. Many stories come from that because we all do have it. And the other longing is sometimes for something that we can't quite name. We can't pinpoint exactly what it is. And for many of us, that turns out to end up in the realm perhaps of a seeker, whether it be for truth, for spirituality, for realization, to know yourself, to understand God or goddess or spirit, to really meet that unnameable place, that source of fulfillment. And it's unknown. It's one of those intangibles, but it's something that we can have a deep feeling sensation for it, something that's really visceral, and it lives with us. And there may be times when it feels like it gets derailed, or like the obstacles to it are kind of impossible to move out of the way, whether that be resource, trauma, different kinds of structures that we come up against, patriarchal, oppressive, and otherwise, that may imprint upon us that it's not for us. And there can be some wounding then, and we may temporarily forget or kind of cover over this sense of longing. But it doesn't really ever disappear. It's always there. It's like when you love somebody or you love something, and that love in you is opened up by a person, by a child, by a parent, by a lover, whatever it is. It's like you never really quite stop loving. It doesn't really ever go away. I remember when there was definitely a time when I was in love with the father of my children, and sometimes one of my daughters would say, "Do you still love Daddy?" And I'd say, "Of course." Once you start to love something, you can never stop loving it. The relationship around it might be different. It shifts and it changes because we have so many kinds of love. Yeah. So I've spoke about longing, and maybe I'm kind of staying on this point more is because I'm rewriting my memoir and it's turning out to be quite a revision. And I'm finding that I love writing, that it's a craft and it's something that I didn't allow myself to really plunge into deeply in the first time around, although I spent lots and lots of time in it, lots of edits, working with a lot of people to bring it to some kind of form where it could be published. But this time, it's a whole different craft is being developed, and I'm understanding things different, and I'm really pulling out themes. And the major theme that runs through this memoir of mine is longing. And with longing is awakening. And then there's disappointment, and there's tragedy, and there's injustice, and there's all the things that we go through as humans. And then the sweetness of the repair that can happen, the restoration, the reclaiming, the how we mend. And that always has been of great interest to me, to not leave things undone, to not that I've always had the capacity. It's like it's a muscle, it's a skill that we develop to be able to come back to something and let it heal, and not to leave it festering, or to be find the facility or the courage or the bravery or the resilience that comes when we can allow ourselves to be messy, to make mistakes, to not get it right, but then come back, rather than end up in a place of abuse or abandonment, but to come back and do the mending and do the repair. And of course, what I'm talking about is relationship, because all of our wounding happens in relationship. So if we're going to heal, we can't, like, dig a hole and bury ourselves in it and anticipate that some kind of healing is going to happen. I mean, I was a renunciate in a way, celibate, lived in ashrams for a good period of time, and really told myself I wasn't interested in relationships. I probably was, but it was safer. And, I was trying to learn what safety was. So it felt safer to not be in a relationship. But you can't heal a relational trauma or wound outside of relationship. You need to do enough inner repair, get the resource, the help that is needed, so that a certain degree of safety is felt within yourself. And then you're able to enter into relationship, not in a way where relationships are never perfect, that they can be messy, and you can still show up and you can repair and make mistakes and be foolish, and let something go off, because it will. But then there's the coming back. We don't have to abandon and we don't have to abuse. We can come back and we can let healing take place. And I think, like, underneath that, how it comes to longing is that we all long to live with a sense of wholeness, where we're not fractured into different parts, where there's these abandoned places, or these exiled places, or these shameful places, or these places that didn't get to celebrate, and that feels like there's a fracturing. And this is very common in the human experience. And I really do feel in my own story, especially when I listen to other people and I read stories, is that what keeps us in the game of life is longing, because longing is that ache, to be met, perhaps to be seen, to join, to be part of something greater than who we are. Call it spirit, whatever you want, but to really know the truth of that. And desire, I'll just say now, because it's getting time to wrap it up here, is desire, it seems like there's a choice in that. Like, you can desire something And it's not as how do you say it? It's not as the word's not coming, but like really organic. Like, I mean, but it is. So that's not quite right either. But desire can is satisfied in a different way. You know, it's like desire can be set aside, and then maybe a different desire will take its place, or and then a different desire there, where longing feels like it has a deep thread. You know, it runs really deep through the existence of who we are. And desire is like it comes and it might go, and it comes and it goes, and we can choose how we fulfill it, or not, and we can replace it. Maybe I'm not correct on that. I haven't thought about that as much as I have longing. So I think I'll just stick with that sense of really deep ache, for something that kind of pulls us along in life. You could even say soul. It's like that sense of soul, purpose, to be here, to have meaning, to exist in a really authentic, tangible, satisfying, seen way. Yeah. All right. Well, that might be enough for now. And I'm Prajna O'Hara. This is my channel. If you like it, please like it and share. And I'll see you next week. I try to get on every week, and really take good care of yourself, and don't forget your longings. If they've been buried up for a while, just go in there and unbury them, and let them come to the surface in whatever shape or form that shows up for you, because you will be satisfied. You're worth it. You deserve it. You deserve to have everything you want. Take good care.